Hi guys, and welcome to episode 5 of my vinyl and music collection. And we are going down the blues road. And we're going to start off where it began with Mr. Robert Johnson, the king of the Delta blues. I was privileged back in 2011 to be the singer for Jerry Donahue with Electric Revelators, and we performed the songs of Robert Johnson on a full UK tour. And so Robert Johnson, I hold him very close to my heart. And this is a re-released album. It was originally released in 1961, and Mr. Eric Clapton got hold of this album, and he actually, when he became famous, he only spoke about Mr. Robert Johnson as his favourite bluesman. And there's a little quote in here, because it's a re-release. Clapton was asked to write the foreword, and it reads, "I have never found anything more deeply soulful than Robert Johnson. His music remains the most powerful cry that I think you can find in the human voice." Really. The tracks in this album, there's 2 bonus tracks on it. As I said, it is a re-release, and the tracks would be Crossroads Blues, iconic, Terriblin Blues, Come On My Kitchen, that was our encore song when we did the songs of Robert Johnson with Jerry Donahue, Walking Blues, Last Fair Deal Gone Down, 3220 Blues, Kind-Hearted Woman Blues, If I Had Possession of a Judgment Day, I still perform that song, I Believe I Dust My Broom, I still do that one in my set. Side 2 would be Preaching Blues, When You Got a Good Friend, Rambling on My Mind, I still perform that great song. Stones in My Pathway, you'll find that on YouTube with me performing that song as well. Traveling Riverside Blues, great number. Milk Calf Blues, Me and the Devil Blues, Helen on My Trail, and the iconic Sweet Home Chicago, made famous by the Blues Brothers and their R&B version of that. As I said, we could not start a blues review without starting with Mr. Robert Johnson, the king of the Delta blues. There's a rear of the album, a brilliant little write-up, and the quote will be up there, which Eric Clapton was asked to write. Mr. Robert Johnson, king of the Delta blues. My second album will be Muddy Waters. This album is Muddy Water Sings Big Bill Broonzy. Now I could have put a Muddy Waters album on here with all his famous songs, but Muddy Waters was a big fan of Big Bill Broonzy, and Big Bill Broonzy was probably one of the first American bluesmen to come over to the UK, and he was brought over here probably in about 1958. And so he was the introduction to a lot of youngsters in the UK. This is a brilliant album. It's quite rare. I paid £40 sterling for this album many years ago. And the tracks on here would be Tell Me Baby, Southbound Train, When I Got to Thinking, Just a Dream, Double Trouble, I Feel So Good, Baby, I Done Got Wise, Hoppers Blues, Lonesome Road Blues, and Big Bill Broonzy's famous song, Hey Hey. And I still hear a lot of musicians singing Hey Hey. So this is a great Muddy Waters album, and he's paying tribute to his favourite bluesman, and that is Big Bill Broonzy. This is on the Marble Arch label, and it was released in 1967. I don't think you could get this now, but check it out on YouTube or somewhere, and you will hear these tracks. Anyway, Muddy Waters Sings Big Bill. My second album has got a Muddy Waters theme to it. This is the great Jimmie Rodgers. Jimmie Rodgers was one of Muddy Waters' original guitar players, and I love Jimmie Rodgers, and an Irish bluesman likes Jimmy Rogers too, and he released one of his famous songs called Walking by Myself, and that would have been Gary Moore, and that is played so often. But this is a great album. Jimmy Rogers, he influenced so many blues musicians. The album's actually called Walking by Myself, and I'll give you a little rundown of the tracks now. She Loves Another Man, The World's in a Tangle, Chance to Love, Mistreated Baby, Crying Shame, My Baby Don't Love Me No More, Give Another Chance, Left Me with a Broken Heart, You're the One, This Has Never Been, Side 2, Today Blues, and the iconic one, track 2, will be Walking by Myself. I play this one at my sets. Track 3 will be One Kiss, I Can't Believe, What I've Done, Trace of You, Rock This House, My Last Meal, You Don't Know, and Can't Keep From Worrying. Great album, and this is played quite often by me. It's on the Roots label, and it's circa, again, about 1968. The great Jimmy Rogers, Walking by Myself, who had one of Ireland's greatest sons as his biggest fan, Jimmy Rogers, Walking by Myself. Let's go back to Big Bill Broonzy. Now this is his double album, and I absolutely adore Big Bill Broonzy. As I said, brought to my attention by listening to people like Eric Clapton talking about him, and Muddy Waters. This is a lovely double album with a great gatefold sleeve and a lovely little write-up, and a lovely picture painting of Big Bill Broonzy there, and a lovely artwork front cover as well. There's the back of it, and this is called Big Bill Broonzy, All Them Blues. And again, this has been played so many times by me, and it's a double album. So we've got Big Bill Blues, Somebody's Gotta Go, Water Coast, Take This Old Hammer, record 1, side 2, Digging My Potatoes, which is a great song, Rock Me Baby, which B.B. King had a hit with, Careless Love. One of my favourite songs on record 2, side 1 is Louise Louise Blues, and I've performed this one, and Muddy Waters has done that one as well. Letter to My Baby, Stand Your Test in Judgment, Do Right Blues, Low Down Blues, The Mopping Blues, Cold Black Curly Hair, Hey Bud Blues, Baby Please Don't Go, and again the great Muddy Waters and Van Morrison from them had hits with that. Down by the Riverside, Kind Hearted Blues, that would be Robert Johnson. When Did You Leave Heaven, John Henry, which is that great American folk song which has been performed by so many great guys, including Pete Seeger, and Lonesome Road Blues. That's Big Bill Broonzy. Check him out. He's an absolute giant of a bluesman. Big Bill. My fourth album will be B.B. King. Now I've got a few B.B. King albums. This is a 1979 album. It's called B.B. King Take It Home. Now I've been lucky enough to see B.B. King on 3 occasions, and I must say he's an absolute monumental giant of the blues. To actually witness B.B. King playing was incredible. I've seen him up in Birmingham and Cardiff twice, and this album is 1979, so you won't recognize a lot of these songs on here. You know, The Thriller's Gone and all that is not on here, you know, but it's a great album. It's what B.B. King was doing in 1979, and the tracks would be Better Not Look Down, Same Old Story, Happy Birthday Blues, I've Always Been Lonely, Second-Hand Woman, Tonight I'm Gonna Make You a Star, The Beginning of the End, A Story Everybody Knows, and the title track, Take It Home. I've had this album many years and I love it. It's a great album. It's not one of his famous ones, but it's a little moment in time when B.B. King was still recording great albums. 1979, and that's B.B. King, Take It Home. Brilliant album. Arthur Crudup, or Arthur Big Boy Crudup. His claim to fame would be Elvis Presley recording one of his songs, It's All Right Mama. And I discovered Arthur Crudup because of Elvis Presley. And I can remember doing a jam session once, and I was singing Big Boy Arthur Crudup's song, It's All Right Mama. And someone in the crowd said, it doesn't sound like Elvis. And his mate turned and said, it's not. He said, it's Big Boy Arthur Crudup. This is a great album. It's got some great songs on here. I Don't Worry, Needle to Die, Rockin' on Board, Blind Man Sees, Long Curly Mane, Roebuck Man, Old and Grey, Before You Go, Carina Carina, which is a great song, Boogie in the Morning, Get You in My Arms, What You Doing To, and Burying Ground. Burying Ground would have been very similar to a Sunhouse song. But Arthur Big Boy Crudup, great bluesman. They both can thank each other. Elvis Presley can thank Big Boy, and Big Boy can thank Elvis, because they both had a lot of respect for each other. Big Boy Arthur Crudup, great songs called Roebuck Man. John Lee Hooker, I'm a massive fan. I love that boogie blues of his, you know, that one chord boogie stuff, and I play a lot of his songs, you know, and he was a big influence to bands like ZZ Top, and they wouldn't have had the songs they had if it was for John Lee Hooker. This is a great song. Sorry, this is a great album. John Lee Hooker's Burning. Side 1, Boom Boom, Process, Lost a Good Girl, A New Leaf, Blues Before Sunrise, great, Let's Make It, I Got a Letter, Thelma, Drugstore Woman, Keep Your Hands to Yourself, and What You Say. This is pure boogie blues, all the way from Detroit. And it's on the Top Line Records label. Again, this is quite a late release, 1987. As I said, I got into the blues about 1984, so I was picking up blues albums where I could, you know, at local record shop, second-hand stores, and I picked this one up many years ago. And it's a great picture of our John Lee on the front here, and as I said, he influenced people like Van Morrison, Bonnie Raitt, ZZ Top, a great bluesman. John Lee Hooker, and the album's called Burning. Great album. Let's go back to the 1950s and Chicago, and this is the Anthology of Elmore James. Elmore James was probably one of the best slide guitar players ever. He played his slide guitar in open D tuning, and massive influence to people like Jeremy Spencer or Fleetwood Mac. They actually covered quite a few of his songs. Elmore James was a giant. He covered Robert Johnson. He would cover Muddy Waters, and some of the songs that he wrote, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan, The Sky Is Crying, you know, he covered that one. Dust My Blues, which was Robert Johnson. This is a fantastic album. Elmore James, again, it's a gatefold sleeve. Lovely little write-up inside. Telling you all about Elmore James. The sad thing with Elmore James is there is no videos, there's no recordings of him, you know, video recordings or cinegraph or whatever you called it back in the 50s. we've only got his music, and that's quite a shame really, because in the 50s they were filmed. This is an absolute brilliant album. It's like a greatest hits really, and the songs on here would be side one, Wild About You Baby, I Held My Baby Last Night, Long Tall Woman, Where Can My Baby Be, I Believe, Sinful Woman, Canton, Mississippi Breakdown, 1839 Blues, Please Find My Baby, So Mean to Me, Hand in Hand, and Rock My Baby Tonight. This is a fantastic album, the Anthology of Elmore James. I absolutely adore him, and one of my guitars is tuned to open D tuning. Jeremy Spencer would play Elmore James, but he would be in the key of E. It'd be easier for the band, Fleetwood Mac, to be able to jam along to those songs. So anyway, Mr. Elmore James, great bluesman, fantastic bluesman. Here he is, Stevie Ray Vaughan, one of America's greatest unsung heroes. Died young. He died in a helicopter accident. He had just been playing a festival with Eric Clapton, and his helicopter was going to a party where Clapton was hosting, and unfortunately the helicopter crashed into the side of a mountain very near where the mansion was, and what a great tragedy. I love Stevie Ray Vaughan. I do a couple of his songs. I do Pride and Joy, and he got the youngsters involved as well with the blues. You know, he was just a great iconic bluesman. And on this album, iconic songs: Scuttle Button, Couldn't Stand the Weather, The Things I Used to Do, Voodoo Child, which was Jimi Hendrix. He was a Jimi Hendrix fan. Cold Shot, brilliant song. Tin Pan Alley, Honey Bee, which would have been Muddy Waters, and Stag Swang. Great album. Stevie Ray Vaughan's Double Trouble. And I've got a couple more Stevie Ray Vaughan albums, so I will be bringing them out in future episodes of The Blues. There's the other guys from Double Trouble. And this one's called Stevie Ray Vaughan, Couldn't Stand the Weather. And I'm a massive fan. And that's another one for the collection. ZZ Top, you're going, what, blues? Yeah, blues. Back in the late 60s, early 70s, ZZ Top played some great Chicago blues. Fantastic three-piece powerhouse of a band. And I've got a few of their albums, but this was the first one I picked up. And this is just absolutely pure blues. And the tracks in here would be Waiting for the Bus, Jesus Just Left Chicago, and that's a slow, burning, deep blues. I love that one. Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers, great song. Masters of Sparks, Not Blues and Righteous, Hot Blues and Righteous. That's another slow, ballady song, steeped in Chicago blues. Move Me On Down the Line, Precious and Grace, again another slow burning blues. Lagrange, and I think they can thank John Lee Hooker for that one, because that's got a lot of the John Lee Hooker boogie blues in that one. And Shake is another great song, another great bluesy song. Have You Heard? And brilliant album. And people will, the younger generation will remember ZZ Top in the late 80s with the Eliminator album and those songs. But I'm still a massive fan of the early stuff. And this is ZZ Top, Tres Hombres. And it would have been Billy Gibbons, Dusty Hill, and Frank Beard. And this is a brilliant album for anyone who wants to discover what boogie blues is all about. Gatefold album. That's a big Texas meal, I think. Tacos and beer, etc. and it kind of gets you into that kind of feeling, doesn't it, of what life was like, you know, in these juke joints and whatever they were playing, you know. And this was an import album. And it was the only, you couldn't get a British version of it. But I absolutely love ZZ Top, one of the greatest. And unfortunately, we lost Dusty Hill. But I still think ZZ Top will be doing some things. But I know Billy Gibbons has been doing some duos and some solo things. But this is an absolute great album. ZZ Top's Tres Hombres. And I've got a couple of other early ZZ Top albums, and I will be bringing them out in future episodes as well. Anyway, that's ZZ Top. And I'll see you in episode 6, and we'll be going down the hard rock store. Well, I followed her to the station, suitcase in my hand, and I followed her to the station, suitcase in my hand. You know, it's so hard when your love's in vain. All my love's in vain. See you next time, guys.